of Finland from Noile Games is a magical action roguelike that asks, is that a wand in your pocket? Or are you just trying to kill me? Don't let the retro art style fool you. Noita is set in a procedurally generated world where every pixel is physically simulated. Let's take a look.
Arată bine. Wow! Nuke! Păi arată bine joculețul ăsta. Îmi place. Noita. Ok. Ce arată drăguț.
Our next title is one that's very near and dear to my heart, as it is the spiritual successor to one of my favorite childhood games, Theme Hospital. Joining me to talk about it are the two founders of 2 Point Studios to talk about 2 Point Hospital. Join me in welcoming Dr. Webley and Dr. Carr. Wow. Great suits. I mean, I gotta ask, as two fully trained medical professionals, how does one run a hospital in 2 Point Hospital? Whoa, what's going on with the mic? What's going on with the mic? Wait, oh my gosh, is the stethoscope eliminating your microphone? Oh, you know what? We do this every year. Come here, talk to me.
Okay.
How do we run a hospital?
So 2 Point Hospital is a game about designing and building your own hospital. It's
talk directly at my tie.
Yeah, you said don't talk there.
Yeah.
I got to look out here, you said.
Yeah, no, just look straight at the ground.
There's a lot of customization. Is this not working at all?
Yeah, it's great.
Doing great. Carry on. I'll carry on then. Yeah, a lot of customization, a lot of interesting characters in our world, which with all these different characters, we had to come up with some really interesting illnesses and cures for them. And you have fun in 2 Point County exploring different regions and curing people with different ailments. And as you can see on the screen, we've got... this is real. We actually researched this. It's a certain enema. And also you can train people. You can train your doctors to be better, your nurses to be better, do research so you can unlock new wonderful cures.
Yeah. You know,
saying everything, isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't know your mic was working. I was a bit backfilling. Carry on.
So I mean, no, tell me about it. Like, what is the sort of late game sort of experience that you'll be playing through? Because this looks like it's quite deep into the running of a hospital.
Yeah, this is later on. So you start off and you're researching and you're training up staff, you're diagnosing illnesses, and you're hopefully curing them and making money, and then getting off.
I see this malady. Yeah, I see this malady called turtle head. Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Yes. It's when the head becomes so shrunken it gets stuck in the neck orifice, just pops out slightly, and it has to be extracted. And Mark, how's it get extracted?
This is something you've maybe we've all been there. I know. This is one where a little bit of suction always helps. And
and
it's gone.
We had to research how to do that.
That's actually a real illness. For
it is.
North
It's real.
England.
Now, I had to ask about something that I think every young man has to deal with at some point. What is a monobrow infestation?
Yeah, well, monobrow is,
follically enhanced.
Yes.
Problem. We've all been there.
Yeah. I haven't.
No, okay.
But it needs to be diagnosed and cured pretty quickly. If it doesn't, it'll fester, and you might shed a bit of hair, and in fact, it will actually leave the body, and it needs to be got rid of before the health inspectors arrive.
It looks like the monobrows are multiplying in the hospital.
They breed they're big breeders. The monobrows.
They like
monobeasts.
They like dirty places.
Oh.
Disgusting. So you've got to keep your hospital clean and well maintained.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to breed. And, you'll have a trouble.
I want to ask about sort of how the game evolves over time, because you know, Theme Hospital was very mission-based. How does the experience of running a hospital change as the game goes on?
Yeah, so once you've started your first hospital, it's a pretty simple affair, and then you move on through 2 Point County. There's different regions. There's a cold region, there's blue regions with contagious diseases, and you know there's
poor regions, there's rich regions.
Yeah. So we've got volcanoes.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of wonderful. Weird effects can happen in different parts of the world.
So you might struggle to manage your hospital empire because a volcano went off nearby.
Yeah, it's about spinning plates, isn't it? You've got everything set up nicely, and then
something happens.
Thrown at you. So.
Well, I'd love to know more information about when 2 Point Hospital is coming out.
Well, we're coming out to fall, and you can check us out by going onto our Steam page and hopefully wish listing. And we're coming later in the year.
We're told.
No.
Well, I'm personally, again, really looking forward to it coming out. Thanks so much for joining me, Doctor and Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor and Doctor. 2 Point Hospital. Now, our second Battle Royale game of the afternoon takes a fantasy RPG-esque bent. You may have even seen it getting streamed on Twitch in the previous week. Let's take a look at Hi-Rez's Realm Royale.
Okay. Fortnite copy. Copy paste.
Joining me to talk about Realm Royale is the executive producer at Hi-Rez Studios. It's Rory Newbro, aka Dry Bear. Mr. Dry Bear, what separates Realm Royale from other types of battle royale games in the genre?
It's a good question. So before you go up into the air to determine where you land on the map, you'll actually choose from a list of fantasy classes like mage or hunter or assassin and specify a unique play style before you land.
How do these different classes work?
So the engineer will be more about bunkering down, putting up shields, putting down turrets. The assassin will get behind the lines using stealth, use a sniper rifle to take out targets. And the warrior will just jump in there throwing axes and being crazy.
And, you know, in some of the streams that I've watched, it also seemed like there were abilities, not just the loot and find stuff. Can you talk to me about how the ability mechanics work?
Once you choose a class, it'll come with a set of abilities, and you'll actually be upgrading these during the match, but it specifies your play style. And so as you're looting, abilities as well as armor and weapons will come out of the chest.
Okay.
You'll start equipping that and determining the play style you want, and so you can just really specify.
And you know, you mentioned this a little bit. I've seen it on stream. Talk to me about crafting in the game. I mean, how does crafting work in a game where there's a constantly shrinking play circle?
We're really excited about this. So strewn across the map, there are places called forges. And so once you go to the forge, you'll collect shards from disenchanting loot you find as you're going about. And you'll use these shards to start crafting legendary gear, very powerful pieces that everyone will want. Yeah. Once you start the forge, a smokestack will appear above the forge and everyone comes over to fight.
Like a mini objective even.
Big team fight.
So I know that Realm Royale is currently available for free on Steam, but I hear that you have some goodies people can check out that are E3 exclusive.
That's right. So free on Steam. We're actually out for less than a week now, and we were already #4 on Steam charts. And this week at E3, through Mixer, if you stream on Mixer and you're playing, the streamer that gets closest to the Crown Royale will enter into the hype zone, and so everyone will see you on. You'll be featured on the main page of Mixer. And you'll have a chance to win the jailbird chicken skin, which is our first piece of cosmetic. It's a little chicken with like a little jailbird, like prisoner outfit, and just box around. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and if you don't know the chicken mechanic, seriously, please look it up right now. Rory, thanks so much for joining me on stage to talk about Realm Royale. Once again, it's for free on Steam.
Adică e ok, diversitate pentru fanii jocului Royale.
One that was shown at last year's PC gaming show, and Frankie has some updates of what they've been up to.
Yes, John, as you may remember, our next game is made by a core team of just 2 people. It's called Ooblets, and it's a farming and creature collecting indie inspired by Pokemon, Harvest Moon, and Animal Crossing. This fresh trailer features a first look at their unique combat system, along with plenty of cute ooblets and environments. Let's take a gander.
Let's take Uganda. Yeah, let's take Uganda, man. Look, Este ubleț. Și-au party. Ok. Hai să fim serioși mai departe. Foarte frumos. Jocul cu blete.
It wouldn't be a PC gaming show without a dash of strategy, which is why I'm delighted that we get the chance to share with you the next in the ANNO games. Let's take a look at ANNO 1880.
UBISOFT. Următorul joc ANNO, a? Asta jocuri frumoase, da. Necesită timp. Foarte mult timp.
Joining me on the stage to talk about it is the executive producer, Burkhard Rathheiser, and community developer, Bastian Thun.
Clap, 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 clap.
Gentlemen, welcome to the stage. I want to begin right away by asking, for people who haven't seen or experienced the ANNO series, what are these types of games like?
Yeah, well, ANNO 1800 is a PC only real-time strategy game, and it's kind of mixing city building together with economic simulation and naval warfare. And at its core, it's a sandbox game, so you have a vast amount of freedom to explore the world and build huge cities.
And I wonder if you could talk to me a little bit about why the choice of the 19th century for this game.
Well, the 19th century, it's such an interesting and rich era. There was so much happening in this era.
Yeah.
So we had two industrial revolutions. We had major scientific inventions and also big social changes, and also the creation of the big imperial empires. So it's a really rich era.
And what are some of the elements that we'll get to see from the 19th century in ANNO 1800?
So it's kind of, for the player, it's well, basically you start with the first kind of medieval settlements, and then it's a kind of a journey through the 19th century. So it's a kind of, you explore everything that kind of happened in this rich era.
And I understand that you have a very unique take on how to work with the community, how to gather feedback. I was wondering if you could talk to me about what is ANNO Union.
So last year at Gamescom, when we actually revealed the game, we decided on, it's pre-alpha, we revealed the game. We invited the community to basically become a member of our development team. So we launched our ANNO Union platform. It's a place where we give constant weekly updates on the current development and invite players to give feedback and basically help us developing the game.
Can you give me like an example of exactly how some choices have been steered by the community?
So there's a lot of different stuff we did. So like from feedback we got on our blogs and focus playtests where invited players. We got so much great feedback which had to completely rebalance the mid and late game of the game. Also we heavily expanded on core features of the game based on feedback. We said like, okay, that really seems to work. Players like that, so okay, let's do it, like improve the quality a little bit even more.
Yeah.
But they can also vote on actual game content. So we had a big vote for an AI opponent in the game, for a community creation contest where they could create their own island and stuff like this.
And I understand that some of this footage that you're sharing right now is pieces that people can go to anno-union.com and vote on right now.
Exactly. So just in time for E3, you can go to anno-union.com, check out, we have a vote up where you can vote on one of 5 ships in the game. And that's only the first stage, because in the second stage, we will allow you to design your own ship variant. So the winner of that first vote, then you can hand in your own design notes, drawings, 3D models, whatever you like. And the winner of that contest will actually make it into the game.
Now, where is the website that people can go to again to get the most information right now?
Yeah, just check out anno-union.com. That's basically our big community platform, and we want to invite especially strategy gamers, PC players out there to come help us developing the game, sharing feedback. Just check it out.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me on stage to talk about Anno 1800. Our next title is the final battle royale of the night, and Frankie is going to be talking about it, and it's a little bit, maybe not what you'd expect.
Publisher TinyBuild is known for discovering distinctive indie developers and bringing their quirky ideas to the fore, with Cluster Truck, Speedrunners and Hello Neighbor among their catalogue of hits. And now I'm delighted to be able to bring you the world-exclusive reveal of a game developed by Galvanic Games in cooperation with Explosion. Inspired by the Cyanide and Happiness webcomic, Rapture rejects his battle royale as you've never seen one before, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. Top-down, isometric, cartoony, and basically bonkers. Let's take a look at what happens when the man upstairs makes an epic fail and only beams up the bad people. Introducing Rapture Rejects.
Rapture Rejects. Really? Sună... Hai să vedem.
Dear God, every day I strive to be closer to your light. I pray that when Judgment Day, that most holiest of days, comes upon us, when you bring all the good people to heaven, that I may live in eternal glory by your side. Amen.
Poate îl ia și pe ăla din camera lui și pe el nu. Ce ți-am zis?
Thanks, bro.
Ce ți-am zis? Ce tare și epic. Ăla-i! Deci chiar pare funny jocul ăsta. Nu spun că e ceva care, wow, o să joci de nu mai poți, dar chiar e funny.
Smell you later, you old
Da. Ok. Funny. Chiar funny.
I can't believe we got to show that trailer. That's so great. Our final game that we will be showcasing this evening is from perhaps the most famous stealth action franchise in gaming, the Hitman series. Let's take a look at a brand new trailer from Hitman 2.
Hitman! E interesant în câte metode poți să o omori în Hitman. Mă amintesc când apăreau primele jocuri Hitman, mamă ce hype erau, super cool, Hitman, nu știu ce. Acum recent n-am mai jucat, dar e o serie bună.
The innovation race is on its last day and it is down to the wire. The Providence defectors are Robert and Sierra Knox. A day of high-octane thrills and two very public targets.
Boing! Hahaha, câte costume poți să pui. 13 noiembrie.
Joining me to talk about Hitman 2 is game director from IO Interactive, Jacob Mickelson.
Hai să
Join me
un
up
pic
here,
pe
Jacob.
pe director și apoi să încheiem această conferință. Deci, dacă stau să mă gândesc, asta a fost începutul la conferința la E3. A fost una decentă, că după urma titluri mari, asta e.
Pay a visit to Sharon Robert Knox, who part of the Kronstadt Empire, and yeah, we all know how that ends, right?
Well, given that it's a Hitman game, I have some hints. And, you know, I always felt like in the Hitman games, the environment was so critical, trying to study and trying to understand it. What are some of the elements in Miami that will show up in Hitman 2?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Miami is, I think it's one of the biggest events we've ever created in the game. And in Miami, we have, of course, the race as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
But being this super high detailed sandbox, we also go to great lengths to actually create all the surrounding bits and pieces, like you have here, backstage area. Of course, we also have that in Miami. So pits and paddocks, there's an emergency room, and so on. So all the facilities needed in order for you to kind of make your own way through the mission and take advantage of the locations and all the different disguises and items you stumble upon as you move in closer to your targets.
And in terms of the mechanics, I know that there's going to be a lot of the familiar feels, but what are some of the brand new mechanics that are in Hitman?
Yeah, some of the new stuff is, for instance, the crowds we saw here in Miami. First of all, there's more than ever.
Yeah,
we're close to 2,000 people now in the scenes. And on top of that, we also introduced a new crowd mechanic where you can dip into the crowd if you get in trouble. So as long as they are not fleeing or running away, then they're there for you to hide in, so in case you get chased by guards. Another new thing is the picture-in-picture mechanic where you get information about what's going on other places in the level. So if you're setting up traps and stuff like that, you can kind of keep track of where the important characters are. And last but not least, we have the fan favorite, which is the sniper briefcase is back. But this time it's not only for sniper rifles, it's also for all the other things you want to carry around kind of without causing too much attention to yourself.
And I want to ask about some of the weapons and the disguises that have been showing up throughout these trailers.
Yeah, we go to great lengths. I think the theme of this showing is going to be the fish. It's really it's a studio favorite. We're having a lot of laughs at that, right? And then of course you just saw it in the kitchen as a frying pan. So we all know the kitchen is the most dangerous room in your house, right?
Yeah, of course.
Also counts in Hitman.
And I want to ask about some of my favorite content from Hitman, things like elusive targets, limited time events. Will those be making a comeback?
Absolutely. So there's still going to be escalations for you to kind of challenge the game in many different ways. There's going to be challenge packs, again, new challenge for you. And then, of course, the elusive targets that pop up for a short period of time only. And you have one shot at this or, go bust.
As my final question, the expected question, when does Hitman 2 come out?
Hitman 2 comes out November 13, and if you pre-order right now, you also get access to a new game mode called Sniper Assassin, where you get to play as Agent 47, and also, for the first time in the franchise, you can play along with a friend in the co-op mode.
Well, Jacob, thank you so much for coming out. I'm super looking forward to Hitman 2.
Cute, drăguță conferință. Nu pot să-i dau mai mult de 6, că n-a fost nimic revoluționar ce am văzut. Dar nici foarte rea. Un 6.
So you're going to rush off this way, because coming in from the left, for the first time ever, vaguely nearby me, it's the co-host Frankie. Come here, Frankie.
They let me come down from the balcony for good behavior.
Excellent. Well, Frankie, we did it. The PC Gaming Show is done. Thank you so much for joining us to host this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for all of you who came out to the Will Turn and joined us today. It was a blast. Thanks to Twitch chat. I know that everything you said was appropriate and intelligently thought out.
Dacă mă gândesc că asta a fost prima dată.
And of course, this year we're curating even more great PC games from Facebook
a fost așa ceva de a crea hype-ul de
and
început.
of course, not least, a huge thank you to all our wonderful sponsors who let the PC Gaming Show come back for a fourth straight year. They are
Aici Adrian, de la Gaming Therapy. Vă urează chemarea plăcută. Avem de așteptat o grămadă de jocuri, multe de jucat, puțin timp, dar ne vom descurca noi cumva. Până data viitoare, peace!